There's no one watching. That's okay. This isn't meant to be a thing where people watch. It's mostly a formality. So not a long time ago, a while ago, Adam Mueller gave me some dipsticks to give away. And life kind of got in the way and things got busy and I just didn't get around to making it happen. So, finally got a free night after guiding for the last 4 or 5 weeks to make some stuff happen. Turns out life's pretty busy with a 2-year-old at home. Um, but I was stewing about how to try and, oop, phone's tipping, try and get around the whole bot situation that plagued me the last time. Um, so this is what I'm doing. Just an informal surprise live with um, I these are all the names that commented on the video where I went over all the dipsticks in the first place. It's not like it's anything special. You didn't have to do anything. I just figured since I didn't say live or giveaway or anything like that, the people who are actually invested, commented, watched the video. So this is kind of my way of saying thanks and paying you back. We got one viewer. Oh, Lordy. Moving up in the world. All right. So that's kind of how we're going to run things. I'll go over the baits that you cool people stand to win. But first, I suppose I could probably run down some fall fishing. Yeah, we lost our guy already. I got nobody. I'm just down here. Oh, he's back. I was down in my living room slash dining room talking to myself for a while, which may or may not be all that much different from a normal night at home. It's a joke. I'm finding as I'm getting on in my teaching career that I'm less and less funny to the kids, but maybe I'm just not that funny generally. So there's that. Um, but the fall bite has been interesting. It's been an interesting fall. Those of you who have been on the water, I'm sure, can relate to that. Where freaking cats, um, to where it's been unseasonably warm for an unreasonably long time, and it's definitely doing some weird stuff to the fish. Um, I was texting with Adam. When was it? Last night or 2 nights ago? We were chatting about the unseasonably warm temps, and he said that he was out last weekend and he had water temps in his neck of the woods, which neck of the woods being Canada, around like 72. And he said normally this time of year, based on his notes, I think he said it was like, upper 50s is usually where they're at, which is just kind of crazy to think about. I've got 3 people watching. I'm considering that a win. Um, and I replied to him like normally in Iowa this time of year, so like we're approaching the first week of October. I believe I guided the first week of October last year, and I want to say that water temps started in the high 50s and ended in the low 60s that day. Um, Again, last weekend, I think we had 72-ish degree water, um, which is fine. I mean, it's whatever. For down here, it doesn't really throw off the water, or it doesn't really throw off the fall patterns. At least I don't think. And it's been interesting just because like it has been that much warmer, which I don't really know what that means once we push on later into fall and get further and closer to like turnover and how that all will shape up. I hope it's just a steady thing. I mean, knock on wood there, but like, I don't really care if the progression happens at a, you know, like 2 weeks later than normal, as long as it's steady, because then that just means like the bite will be more consistent going in that direction. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind taking more advantage of October generally, just because I have a little bit more free time this month, which is cool. Um, so yeah, the fall has been good. I'm looking forward to getting out with Connor this weekend. This will be like my first weekend not guiding in a long time, so that will be fun. And also, it'll be nice to spend some time with the fam. Between school and guiding, I think today was day 19 of working in a row. So it's been a haul, but it's been busy, but it's been fun. And guiding has gone probably better than I ever could have expected, hoped, or imagined this fall, which has been really cool too. It's been a lot of fun to put smiles on people's faces, help them catch fish, um, see, introduce people to a sport and to a fish that I've never seen before, or that they have never seen before. I've seen a few of them. My cat is just losing his mind right now. He's thinking about doing something that he shouldn't. Hopefully, I don't have to get up. He might be done. He just really wants to play. I'm gonna turn on his laser because I need to not. He needs to not be silly. Anyway, my God, it's been a long week, but it's been another good week. Hopefully, that will keep him occupied now. See, that's the not so fun part of going live is like during the video process, I may leave some of that stuff in the editing process. I may leave some of it in to be funny. But if it's annoying, I can like cut it out. We're just live now. It's not getting cut out. But yeah, official boy says hi. What's up, dude? Um, all right, so let's talk about the baits. So we've got several baits to give away tonight, which is super cool. Adam is the man. You sell me your channel. Yeah, I'm not gonna sell you my channel. Why would you even want my channel? Why would you want a channel of just a bunch of like it's some guy who's just an absolute degenerate who goes musky fishing and just punishes himself on a regular basis? Yeah, my content is not gaming live streams, dude. I'm sorry. That's just not it's not what I'm here for, what I do. Enjoy video games, but I like being outside more. Anyway, yes, it is a cool lure, Dre, and someone in this chat is going to win it. Not the chat, someone who already commented on a previous video. If you commented on the Dipstick Tackle Talk, then you know who you are and you know you stand to win it. Official boy, I really don't care. You flexing your channel subscribers on me means literally nothing because like for me it's not about how many people are viewing. It's about if anyone can take anything away from what I'm offering to people to potentially learn or to potentially like enjoy following along on my adventures or gaining perspective on lures, techniques, tactics as to how to catch the hardest fish to catch in the entire world. I do not live in India. So, yeah. Anyway, strange. The internet is a strange place. But first one that you stand there, what is the best fish you caught? The best fish or biggest? Because those are different things. Because my best fish, I don't catch. My best fish, other people catch. In my opinion, I think that's way cooler when other people catch fish. Um, anyway, so this is a regular dipstick. Um, this is the crappie pattern. Initially, I wasn't sure if I was going to give this one away or a pike one that Adam sent, and were testing. Um, or I was just kind of testing both of these on Mille Lacs just to get a vibe for them. I mean, Adam runs them all um, before he sends them out, so I was just kind of getting an idea of which one I like more, which one I like less. And I had both of them with me on Mille Lacs, and so Barry was running the pike one, and the pike one got chewed by a pike. So um, I get that decision was kind of made for me by the fish themselves. So it's not that this one runs worse. It just didn't get bit by a pike first. This one runs really awesome. I was actually kind of mad that the pike ate that one first. Um, anyway, that's besides the point. Dre, biggest for me is 49. Caught that in Minnesota. There are people who have caught significantly bigger muskies than me and have way better fish stories to tell than I do. Um, anyway, so that's the regular one. So I've got a mini as well. If you guys watch Ben Stone's videos, Ben used the mini in Canada this season and just absolutely cranked on them with it. This is kind of a gold, black, and orange. Really great color, tough to beat. Um, again, Adam doesn't make a bad bait. It just makes it kind of hard to give them away at times, if I'm being honest. Okay, so that's a mini. So yeah, I've got two minis to give away. I actually just acquired a mini from Adam not that long ago, but um, I've got another mini to give away here. This is kind of um, a shad pattern mini. This one's got a square bill versus the other one. This one has a little bit quicker rise to it than the other one, which doesn't necessarily make it bad. It just makes it a little different than the other ones. So um, this one runs fine too. It honestly, it makes me a little sad giving some of these away, but Adam's a boss, and yeah, these are great. These are great baits. They will make someone very, very happy, and especially because hopefully I eliminated the bots. Um, so we've got an XL to give away as well. So Adam sent me an XL, just a really cool kind of like hot Cisco color. Um, again, people who live in Minnesota or whatever, this thing should absolutely crank on them for you. So that's what we got. We got four baits, four awesome lures um, to give away. I will send them to you if you live in Canada. We'll communicate and kind of figure out. We'll kind of figure out what's going on shipping wise. Sometimes it's really expensive to ship, and sometimes it's like not so bad. So if it's like ridiculous, then maybe we can figure something out. And if it's fine, then I'll just pay your way. Because I know some of you guys in this draw are from the Great White North, which I love Canada. What's the giveaway? We're giving away some musky lures, man. It's gonna be dope. Victor Simonson, how are you? Um, I I hope all is well. I'm pretty sure Victor, you're in this thing. So if I remember right, I wrote your name down and you're in the mug. I mean, I could have went over all of the different names in the mug, but you know, you guys are just gonna have to trust me on that. If you want to double check my working, go back to the video, I guess, and watch it. I'm trying not to yawn. It's been I'm tired. It's been a long week, but we got some cool baits to give away. This is gonna be neat. I don't know. I probably rambled enough about all the things. If you have questions, if you've got questions about um, fall fishing or anything like that, musky fishing, just drop them below, and I'll do my best to answer them while I'm drawing and those kinds of things. So yeah, we're gonna get rocking and rolling. The, these are some awesome baits. I can't believe that people trust me to give these things away. It's a little ridiculous, honestly. All the names are in here. So we're just going to go in this order in front of me here, so you can see. So we'll do the little guy, the shad guy, and then we'll do hot orange, crappie, and then XL. Probably got my cat's water fountain in there, so that's fine. But there are a lot of names in here. Not too many. It's not like that giveaway that I did before. But I feel very validated about how I did it this time because I got this like guy from India who wants to buy my channel apparently in this chat. So it's like as soon as you say something about giveaway, the bots just come out, and it's like, how does that even happen? How does that work? Drop a comment below. Let me know. JD, are you gonna do another giveaway? If so, how do I get entered to win? I mean, I probably will at some point. I don't really know when or what the circumstances of that will be. I did a huge one last year. It was a lot of work, and I appreciated all of the people who contributed to it. But like, it's a lot of work, and then I ended up paying like over $100 in shipping to get baits to all the people. So yeah, I mean, this will be like, I don't know, probably 30 to 50 bucks depending on where they go. So, I mean, it's not like it's a cheap thing for me to do, but again, if I can put cool baits in people's hands, then it's like worth it. All right, so let's see. The winner of the shad, Steve Ravley. Steve Ravley. Ravley. I'm just going to put it on the hook here. If you do not claim your bait within a week, I will find someone that will. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, Steve Radley with the shad. Congrats, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how to answer the question on the giveaways. I just kind of do them at random. Again, like, you'd have to go back and watch my other lives and my other giveaway videos to see how the bots and all the things work. Is very, very annoying. Yeah, I get it there, Braden. I don't blame you. That's an awesome bait. How many muskie do you think there are in India? I'm gonna go with 0. But they do have those goonch catfish that have teeth, which are pretty freaking dope. So I mean, there is that, Victor. Jeremy Wade caught one of those once. It like pulled him into the current, and I was like, he's probably gonna drown. But anyway, Jeremy Wade couldn't catch a muskie on Eagle Lake, so there's that. Alrighty, so but muskies are muskies everywhere. Don't be fooled. Canadian muskies aren't any easier. Let's see. So um, the orange one. This guy comments on my videos all the time. I'm happy he won it. Vassamillion the Vile, I think is what he goes by. I don't know if he's got a different name, but that's what his username is. So, congrats, dude. I appreciate you watching. I am glad you won one of those baits. Now we are cooking with gas here, folks. We got the crappie up next. Got the crappie up next. All right, I got a name here for the crappie. Who's it gonna be? Oop, dropped it. We got Bert or Bait and Sunfish Outdoors or some Sunbird Outdoors. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. So I'm just gonna draw another name. Screw it. Bait and Sunfish Outdoors can get ticked. Don't care. Oh, this is a good one. In good hands once again. Wayne, someone I've shared the boat with a bunch of times, who has booked guide trips because of my channel. That one, that is in good hands. I'm happy for that. Um, yes, I agree. That's a weird name for a channel. I'm guessing that they probably aren't going to be tuned in enough to the live to know that they missed out on that. So I will probably, since I didn't recognize the name on the shad, I will probably draw another one in case that guy does not claim it. Anyway, so the legend, the XL, not easy to get your hands on, really difficult. I've got a name. I've got a name. I've got a name. This is stupid. It will be in good hands. It will be in great hands. Gus Manti just won a Dipstick XL. I was just texting with Gus. He just got off the water. Um, he runs an awesome podcast and is an incredible guide. If you happen to be in the Minocqua, Vilas, Oneida area, book a trip with him. I'm going to draw a backup name for the Shad now. The good news is I know that these three will be claimed, which is good. So there is that. The Shad, I'm not really sure about. But anyway, I'm going to draw another name. See, I mean, if you guys are watching and someone claims a Shad, cool. If not, cool. Whatever. If Sunfish Outdoors is really that upset, he can shoot me a DM. I'll send him something. All right, so I don't know who that is either. Random YouTube name. I should have just taken those out. I don't know who that is either. All right. All right. So we've got like two names. We got like two names here that I don't really know who they are, but if they're watching, we've got Jeff Trenich and Ronald Denvers. So anyway, I'm putting these on this guy. Someone claim this guy. Um, if no one claims him, I'll find a home for him. Don't worry. We know that three have good homes, which is really all I care about. I'm not sending baits to some random person. I don't know. The last giveaway was just, it just did not go well. It was just silly. I'm pretty sure I sent names halfway across or sent lures to people that don't even know what muskies are, but that's kind of besides the point. Um, no, not Ronald McDonald. He makes hamburgers and children laugh. Um, maybe. I don't know. I don't know where the origin story of Ronald McDonald is. Anytime I think of Ronald McDonald now, I just think of like the meme where he's like throwing stuff off the table. I don't know why I'm shaking this anymore. It's probably just like whatever. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to accomplish tonight. I've even got some no, farts. I just knocked them all over. Boxes lined up for these baits to go in to be shipped out to the wonderful viewers that I appreciate and appreciate me. So that's about all I got for you guys. I those of you who hung out with me and tuned in, I greatly appreciate you. Even um, the guy from India who likely is a bot, but you know what? He's got 40,000 subscribers apparently, and he does a video game channel. So if you guys are interested in that, check out Little Boy Bebop or whatever his name was. Official Official Boy. You can check out Official Boy. Shout out Official Boy. Hopefully he's got thick skin because he has just been getting. I'll probably make fun of him forever now because he wanted to buy my YouTube channel. Why? My YouTube channel sucks. So stupid. Okay. Well, Dre, I appreciate you. Victor Simonson, appreciate you as well. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, uh, dropping some stuff in the chat. Seriously, though, if you guys, I'm trying to coordinate and I'm planning on doing more lives again this winter. I think that those are pretty well received for the most part, and it allows people that I'm good friends with who own businesses, who make baits, who guide, who do all these things. A platform to kind of share their voice and share their perspective, which is it's a cool thing. So I don't know how much they're able to take away from what I do, but I definitely appreciate just being able to try and help them where I can. Because to kind of explain the YouTube thing to Official Boy, the whole purpose of my YouTube channel isn't for me, it's for everyone else. So that's why there's no reason I would ever sell it because it's not it's not mine. It's the people who make stuff like this um, that catch fish with teeth. It's not mine. Anyway, before I get too philosophical, probably wrap this guy up. But congrats, Gus, Wayne, Vast Million, and let's see, we got Steve Renley. So give me a shout, hit me up, shoot me a DM, so then that way I can get you the baits. Vast Million, I know you're going to watch, so do not hesitate, or I'll just start spamming your comments. And then the other two, I can take care of those very easily. This one, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that one. Hopefully, Steve's watching or will watch within the next week, because I don't know how easily I'll be able to get into touch with him. Where can I buy that lure? Well, it's the funny thing. You really can't. Um, the the guy who makes these, Adam Mueller, is one dude who works a full-time job and makes a handful of lures every year. He works a couple of muskie expos in the wintertime, which is probably your best bet to get those. He does not send out many muskie baits um, like to retailers in any capacity. My cat is trying to crawl on the table, and I've got hooks on here, which is not ideal. Um, he doesn't send many baits out to retailers or anything like that. So the top line things are pretty tough to get your hands on. I did hear some whispers and some rumors about him potentially being in the States for an expo or two. But that's all I'm going to say about that. Um, those baits are big dollar baits. Yeah, they are. And they work. I should have. Radger Born, Ragnar Born. I should have grabbed my original XL out of my box just to showcase how beat up that thing is. I think that thing's got 10 fish on it now, and I couldn't even tell you how many pike. That thing has fed me so many times. I cannot wait to get with my buddy Barry and get my batch of pickled pike from this summer's harvest. It will be delicious. Um, really looking forward to that. There are a few things better to eat on game day than like pickled pike and a light beer. I mean, you don't eat the beer, but like you drink it with the pickled pike. That's besides the point. Yes, I guarantee you, dude, that these baits would freaking crush on Lake St. Clair. I don't know how many people run them out there. I don't know how many people have access to them out there. Um, but yeah, the top lines, especially the XLs and probably just the regs, because the thing with the XLs and the regs that are different than other musky baits that I've noticed, especially for like a dive and rise slash twitch, at least from the ones that I have, like obviously all wood is different. You know, Adam does his best to get these to be all the same, and he tests them and runs them all the things. But as far as like dive and rise baits, twitch baits go, those things will get down and they will just sit there at like 8 to 10 foot, and it just drives those muskies nuts. Um, it's really just crazy how deep they get and then how well they just sit there, and it just offers those fish a totally different presentation, because realistically the only other thing you're getting down there is like rubber, whether it's like a tube or um, like just a standard rubber bait, like a weighted Deusa, bowfin junior, bowfin, weighted bowfin. Um, yeah, and even some of those don't get quite that deep and sit the way that the top lines do. Um, Ragnar, I'd be curious to know what you mean by stuff from across the pond. Do you mean like swim baits, or do you mean like Savage Gear type stuff? Victor, fish the Soul Searcher that I won. No fish yet. Yeah, no problem, dude. Yeah, I didn't have as good a luck with the Soul Searcher this year, but that was just because like I think mostly just because conditions were different. Where I had the most luck with it last year, we were fishing shallow early, and that bite didn't really materialize in the same way. And then actually, I like one of Adam's Twitch baits. Is very similar in action to the Soul Searcher, but it gets deeper and it just sits there. It's so good. I think either this weekend or next weekend I'm releasing a video that features that. So yeah, no custom stuff for some makers in Europe. That's awesome, dude. I really hope that it works. I am sorry for the amount of money that you had to pay to ship that stuff here. um, England and Sweden. That's awesome. I hope that that stuff holds up. Are you talking like hard baits or are you talking soft baits? Um, Lots of cranks. I don't sell any baits. Um, anyway, yeah, I'm hoping that Ragnar will respond because I'm curious if he's getting hard baits from Europe or if he's getting soft baits. Not that it really matters. The Europeans do some really they have some really good craftsmanship over there. I just if you listen to Tyler Andrews' podcast that I was on recently, I don't understand it. I don't understand why they use gear that is lighter than what I would use for bass to try and catch pike that are as big as our muskies. I don't get it. I also don't understand external harnesses. So if someone can explain that, I probably I'll listen, but I probably won't agree with you. It's just how it is. Hard baits. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, like hard baits and then hybrid ones with kind of like a soft tail. Yeah. Those are dope. I mean, it just offers something different for the fish. Ridgway just started putting some of those out where he's got a crank with a soft tail. That thing just it looks awesome. Um, it's gotten bit once this fall, but we did not connect with that fish, unfortunately. But again, it's just one of those things where this fall has just been weird. Stuff in certain situations that would just like absolutely crush before has been tough this year, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but there's some things that are just like your staples and your givens, like your deuces and your bucktails, but and some of that is just it could just be the depth that I'm fishing. Pike fishing groups on Facebook got hooked up with a few guys that make them over there. Yeah, that's awesome. Ragnar, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that front. Where just having anything in your arsenal that's just a little bit different can offer you such an advantage and an edge um, over really anyone else out there. That's why I like seek out all of these custom builders like Adam's stuff or Matt Ridgway's stuff or you know Topline or that this is Topline, Drop Tine, Growlers, Dadson plate baits, anything that's just like anything that's just a little bit different that can just give you that edge. And sometimes it's like a niche thing where like I have not seen or found anything else that does what these do in the zone that they do it in. Um, and if that, I mean, that's like the definition of an edge. Adam, great videos, man. Keep it up. You taught me a whole lot. Love my little cabin in Eel River. Hey, man, dude, that means like so much to me, Adam. Thank you. I hope that you are up there just crushing. I am jealous that you get to experience the beauty of the Northwoods this time of year. Someday I will make it happen. Um, so yeah, dude, keep on keeping on. Shoot me a DM sometime if you've ever got questions or need perspective. I'm not an expert, but I've messed up a lot, so I can at least tell you how not to do that. Ragnar, be honest, I've gotten some really sweet baits and shipping still less than some of the stuff over here. And yeah, I mean, I totally get that. Um, Especially like I will say Ragnar from the European pike perspective, they definitely do have some like minnow bait and like very unique profiles that they produce over here that there aren't really. I mean, like maybe your bakers would kind of replicate, but like I don't know. I'm kind of talking out of my ass a little bit, but not like a ton. There's just I don't know. Different guys have different takes and perspectives on stuff, and I know that a lot of bait makers in the U.S. and Canada will send stuff over there for the pike guys too. So, um, I have a paddle tail swim bait that I use to catch trout and a bunch of different trout. Swim baits are super effective, dude. Um, it does not matter what species of fish you are fishing for. Bass, trout, muskies, whatever. The pike, swim baits just crush everywhere, anytime, anywhere. They are probably the most underrated bait, in my opinion. Um, and it's weird because everyone knows how well they work. Um, Not to say stuff is bad, just too rich for my wallet. Yeah, some of the boutique guys here are pretty out of control. But I mean, I don't know. A lot of people say like you can do the same things with certain lures, and that's just fallacious. Like to say, I understand that these lures are not cheap; they're very expensive. And I understand that like a lot of guys will sit there and say that they do the same thing. It's like someone who tells you that a sand cat and the SRJ do the same thing. They don't. They just don't. Um, and you can pay for the superior product that you want to fill the niche, or you can not. I mean, I mean, that's why all those. It's just economics. I taught economics for years. It's just supply and demand. Um, Adam, thanks, my man. We'll shoot you a DM. Team Tadson and Medusa. Appreciate you, Adam. I really do, man. Um, what was I saying? Swim baits, Ragnar. Yeah, dude. Example would kill for a bar fighter, but there's no way I'd pay the asking price for one. Um, yeah, Ragnar, I'll agree with you there. They are a little expensive, but I've also heard that they're one of those boutique baits that do something different that not a lot of baits do. Um, so from that perspective, I entered raffles and got one and stopped entering raffles after I got one. So I don't think I need any more. I entered probably three or four before I got one, and I just happened to get lucky to get one. I don't know, man. Adam, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, the deuces are great. If you have questions on those, I can definitely shoot you some tips as to how I like manipulate mine and stuff. I mean, I could talk about it on here. I've got some that I've just got the other day. This is going longer than I anticipated, but you guys are curious, so I'll gladly chat. Those DK baits. No, these are top lines. These are not DKs. I don't have any DKs. I don't troll enough. I've entered maybe a couple raffles for those, but I don't do a ton. Um, that's a good question, Adam. Um, all right, so I'll do the deuces first. So the first thing that I do with the deuces is I stretch the tails and make sure that those are good and stretched. If I can, I let them sit in the sun for a long time and let the plastic heat up and kind of get more supple. I don't know if it actually does anything, but it makes me feel better. And then I just give them a little bend in the middle, and it makes them dart and dance a little bit more, not a ton, um, but it makes them dance a little bit more. To answer your question, Adam, is there a lure that I wouldn't throw because of sentimental value? I don't have it with me. It's okay. I have a couple that I don't throw anymore because of that. I have a flap tail, a Lee Lures flap tail that the night that my wife and I got engaged, I caught what was at the time my personal best muskie on it. Um, it's not that I wouldn't throw it again, but I just don't really throw it. Um, and and that's probably the biggest reason why I've caught a couple other muskies on it as well. Um, the other one that I don't throw at this point is I have a Chaos Tackle little sister that my dad just absolutely crushed on for a couple of falls and has the biggest fish that I've ever seen in Iowa on it. And I won't throw it. He's the only person that gets to throw that from now on. So if he wants to throw it, he can. I don't give a shit. But um, I'm not letting other people throw it, and I'm not going to throw it. I've got other ones that sound similar enough, but that's my dad's. Um, those are the two that I can really think of at this point in time. I've got a couple that I bought for sentimental value to throw to use. Um, a friend of Barry and I's passed away a couple years ago, so I bought one of his bucktails, one of his Dadson bucktails to use. Um, so there's that. Um, I actually I keep forgetting that it's in my box. I'm probably just gonna glue it to my rod for this weekend. Um, I'm getting watched do some video the other day. Yeah, no problem, Adam. I appreciate you, man. Anytime, just shoot me a DM. I'll do my best to get after it when I can. Um, yeah, the paint jobs and like the build profiles on that Ragnar's is similar to the DKs for sure. Um, yeah, especially on the minis. Like I could see where you're getting that. Um, Jake, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you always supporting the channel, hanging out. Uh, yeah, more lives to come, hopefully. I just gotta like organize them and those kinds of things. Fortunately, I've got a pretty good network of dudes. I would really like to try and get Barry on one of these. I don't know if he'd actually do it, but it'd be fun. It'd be really awesome if he would. I mean, he can't swear any more than Alex from Barbarian Braid, so there's that. Um, Dre, how do some people not know what muskies are? Um, that's a good question. A lot of people confuse smaller ones here in our home state for pike. Um, not saying that that's good, bad, or indifferent. It just is what it is. I don't know. I suppose people don't look at the DNR reports of what's in the bodies of water. Not really sure. Um, so there's that. Um, if you could have one lure you currently don't have, what would it be? I'm gonna grab some water. That's a good question. One lure that I don't have that I would like to have. Oh, I can tell you, I can tell you right now. Tell you exactly what that lure is. That would be a Chaos Tackle Lemon Drop Mid Medusa in the standard weighting. They don't make them anymore, and I absolutely crushed on those things. So that would be that would be the one. Um, Ragnar, awesome, dude. I'm happy to hear that. I do use the PC Fun reels. I think that they're aware of some of the issues with the 400s, so that's good. And I think that those are getting rectified um, as we speak. Um, but like the one that I've used on my bucktail rod, I've used it the entire season. The one on my Moab, I've used it the entire season. The one on my SWAT, I've used the entire season. The 300 that's on my um, the 300 that's on my surgical strike is I think 3 years old now. It'll be 3 years old in the spring. So, and my live bait reels, my Chaos live bait reels are I've used them for I think 4 seasons now, and I have just beaten the absolute crap out of them, and they have just held up. So I know that with the 400s, some people are experiencing some issues with like the button pressing, but I think that they're aware of that, and it's just one of those deals where you have a newer product that has some kinks that still needs to be worked out. So it's just one of those deals. It happens. But again, if you have that issue come up with any of your reels, just make sure to contact customer service. They'll get you taken care of. So um, I've had really good luck with them. I will say that their drag is top notch. Like that thing, when you set the hook into a fish, it does not freaking move, and it is great. Um, so yeah, when they say whatever 33 pounds of drag or whatever it is, they are not messing around with that. Um, an old bait that I've used for 60 years threw once this summer. First cast, muskie slammed it, but didn't get hooks. It's Hedden Zaragoza, walk the dog, retired now. That's awesome. Yeah, that's Victor. I need to do more walk the dog baits. I will say that that brings up a good point though, because like I always change out the hooks on my baits. Like, so another deuce a tip on this, I'll probably change out the stock hooks, and I always do split ring connection as well. Um, there's nothing wrong with the chaos hooks, but there are better hooks than the standard chaos hooks. So I just put on better hooks. Um, Ragnar, I like those of you who are watching the live probably are just weirded out by my forehead because like I have to get close enough to read the comments, so I apologize for that. The 300s and 400s, couple years, prefer them over a lot of other reels. Yeah, I mean, uh, to go back to my previous point on the three or on the PC Fun reels is there's no such thing as perfect musky reel. If you can find it, let me know. It doesn't exist. Like for example, the Tranks, the Shimano Tranks, like those are really good, but I've had I've had big issues with drag slippage as well as just the overall drag pressure on those reels is not as high as other reels in the market in a competitive perspective. So that can be an issue. So like I said, there's no such thing as a perfect musky reel. It only takes like one fish or one log to just completely F up your world. Like I had an Abu Garcia rocket that I set the hook into a log. We have a lot of timber around here, and it just completely messed up the clutch. And then it was like $100 to fix it, which sucks. But these things happen. It's musky fishing. Um, yeah, I would agree. I'd agree. The people I choose to work with, I definitely choose to work with for a reason. Generally speaking, they're really really good dudes who understand the game and do their best to take care of their customers because they know that there aren't a ton of people who musky fish and like every guy buying their stuff is super valuable. So yeah, big brained. Had issues with Tranks. See, Adam, I had an A3 for a while. Um, I didn't have any issues with it other than I did have the nut of the power handle came off, but then when I put the paddle handle on there, then it was fine. I don't know why that would be. Um, yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, Ragnar. Pretty much same boat. Adam, the A3s are smaller, and I agree they are very comfortable in the hand. I will say that the 300s by PC Fun very similar size, but the price point is much it's a little easier on the wallet, and I would say that the reel is just as good as the A3s from my experience with both. Um, yeah, the 300s are great. I there's a non-zero chance that I might copy my buddy Taylor and just run nothing but 300s next season, just because like they're just a little easier in the hand and they work just as good. The only disadvantage is like the high gear takes in I think 4 or 5 inches of line less per turn, which I mean it does add up, but at the same time. I should have just grabbed another beer, but that's okay. Um, yeah, they don't break the bank, and yeah, like I said, outside of the 400s, which were launched recently, all of the stuff that I've used from PC Fun, that has been like on the market and tested longer, I've not had an issue with, and has lasted multiple years. Don't even start with me, Adam. Jelly. We don't get the spotted cows in Iowa. I suppose I could drive an hour to the border and get some cases and stuff, but that's I don't really want to do that. Actually, it wouldn't be an hour. It'd be like an hour and a half probably. Um, lower. Yep, that's exactly what I do, Ragnar. Lower gears for blades, reduce the torque. Um, I do use the higher gear for rubber though, so that way I can pick up more line as I snap it along. Um, I don't remember what question I was talking about with gear ratios, But yeah, that's generally speaking, I use lower gear ratios for baits that have higher torque and higher gear ratios for line that I need to, or higher gear ratios for baits and presentations that I need to pick up line more quickly with. I can't believe I've been sitting here. Well, I appreciate the engagement because it doesn't feel like I'm talking to myself at all. Although it will be weird for people to listen to this in like the future because I know like some guys will listen to this while they drive. So that's why I'm trying my best to read like the questions out. So then that way, if someone is not watching this, then they can like listen and still get something out of it. Um, Dean, what's up, dude? Agree on the gear ratios. Yeah, great minds think alike, my dude. Appreciate you. Adam, I really appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much. I will give you all the tips. I don't have a ton to share. I'm far from an expert, but I'll gladly lend the benefit of my knowledge where I can. Um, yeah, high gear for jerk baits all the way. Um, yeah, I don't know. Adam, if you got other questions, just shoot them. You can shoot them in the chat or shoot them to me online, whatever, man. I'll do my best to answer them. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but I've been doing this for a while now, and sometimes I feel like I know what I'm doing. Sometimes I don't, but that's just musky fishing. Connor and I will see if we know what we're doing on Sunday, and it'll be fun. So that'll be great. Oh, man. Yeah. So appreciate you. Adam, stay tuned for other baits, dude. I don't know if you're kind of a newer subscriber to the channel, but there will be other giveaways and those kinds of things coming up. And trying to think of other things. Got video dropping tomorrow. I got to make sure that that's actually going to work. The last two that I've uploaded and previewed were fine time wise, but then when they dropped on the scheduled time, they like huge portions of the video were cut off. So that was really freaking frustrating for me because then it makes me look like I don't know what I'm doing, which I don't necessarily appreciate. So I gotta I gotta be Johnny on the spot with that right away in the morning and make sure that it goes because like I know that I previewed this one like I think that this one might be me and Taylor this spring if I remember right. Um, Yep. Yeah, I appreciate that, Adam. Yeah, the knowledge and those kinds of things, there's tons of knowledge out there. You just got to kind of be a little proactive to seek it out. A lot of good podcasts out there. There's a lot of really good dudes out there who, if you're able to kind of earn the trust of and work your way into their networks, a lot of people will be willing to share info with you and work with you on some of those things. Um, Thanks, Dean. Yeah, tight lines, my dude. I hope that you get plenty of fishing in yet this fall. Um, Shore for pike and muskie. CR. Oh, that's interesting, Ragnar. Okay, that makes sense. I know. I think I know the spot you're speaking of. That's just a wild bite and a wild thing that happens. Chaz Martin. That's so like the muskie world is such a small such a small thing. So like I was on Tyler Andrews' podcast not that long ago, and then him and Tyler Andrews used to film for Joe Bucher, and it's just like the muskie world is very tight knit. Yeah, Czech Republic. Um, oh, yeah. I thought you were like calling me out on my heritage, and I was like, yeah, that's where the Vavrock thing comes from. But no, that makes sense. Lake St. Clair. Um, yeah, that's a wild thing, and wild how they just that's just such a repeatable pattern year in and year out. How they just kind of do their thing, work in and work out. Um, yeah, I wish it wasn't so late. This is interesting. The current is constant 7 knots. I feel like that's a lot. I don't know. because I don't fish enough rivers to know. Good luck out there, Adam. That should be awesome. Uh, we just turned over. 54 a week ago was 64. Jake, I said this earlier, but you were on at the time. Last week when I was guiding, we were at like 72. We started the day at like 69 and a half and then ended at, well, we got off the water and it was like 72, 72 and a half. It's been unseasonably warm here, but I understand Idaho and Montana in your area, winter comes in a little quicker where you guys are at. Jig a lot of Bonnie Bates. Yeah, I know. That was like how I got turned on to Bonnie Bates was John Bondi's videos jigging in that river to begin with. It's like all my buddy Barry uses to jig with are Bonnie Bates. Um, yeah, good luck there, Adam. I hope that you crush a giant. It's a good time to be there. I know that a lot of people have been working on that body of water, but I think you definitely stand good odds at being successful over there. Jig a lot of Bonnie Bates in the river, mouth of the river where Huron drains into it. Yeah, I mean that makes sense, Ragnar. Anywhere where there's current and water dumping in, there's just going to be fish. It's just a natural point where those, where bait fish can congregate and subsequently predatory fish too. I've only caught one muskie and have spent so many hours. I think I suck. You do not suck, Adam. There have been stretches where I have gone 80 to 100 hours without a fish. It's just part of the game. Uh, the best way to catch a muskie is just to keep pounding your head against the wall and keep trying stuff. This is a good time of the year to be out fishing. The fish are going to be positioned in predictable locations for the most part. Granted, this fall has been kind of weird, and the warmth has probably thrown them off a little bit. But like at the same time, they know that the days are getting shorter. Um, when the school year started, it was bright and light out when I started running at, whatever, 6:25, 6:30. It is now pitch black. So, yeah. Anyway, my point being is that the fish know that the days are getting shorter as well. They're very aware of that. Um, Detroit River mainly. Way north. Yes. Do you do? Yeah, exactly. Good call, Ragnar. He does not suck. They are just sometimes muskies are just not kind. Um, Getting some texts from buddies that apparently they have gotten a really big fish. So I'm very excited to open that up and see. I'm gonna guess that they're gonna ask me to probably edit these photos at some point, which is fine. That I can do. Do I believe in the moon phasing stuff? I used to be like a die-hard live and die by the moon phase. Um, and generally I've had more luck around new moons, but I don't, as more people talk about it, I don't know if it's a thing where I try and plan my time to fish more closely related to the moon. But then again, like the corollary evidence related to it is really hard to ignore at times when it's like, oh, well, moon overhead is this happened like 2 weeks ago on a guide trip. I was like, it's like we might get some shots in the morning, which we did, and I was like, don't be surprised because my clients had a half day. I was like, don't be surprised if something happens like right before we leave because that's right as the moon is going to start peeking out. I mean, it was like 10 minutes before the minor, and we smoked a 40, and it's like it's hard to ignore those things, even though it just might be total like it might be totally random, but I don't think it is. I think it has some bearing on the fish. It's just it's an effect size, like color is an effect size, like weather is an effect size, and season is an effect size, and water temp. Like all of those things play a role. It's just how much of a role do those things play for those fish in a given situation. Um, yeah, I've heard that musky fishing at night. Sorry, Ragnar. Yeah, Ragnar's just talking about catching fish at night during the full moon, and yeah, I believe you. It's something I need to do more. It's just night fishing is really hard. It's really hard to motivate myself to do it. Um, so yeah. Oh, all right. Anyway, that's a big joint to smoke. I don't know what that means. Um, anyway, it is getting late. I am tired. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me. It means a lot to me. So those who won baits, I will get in contact with you, or please make sure to contact me. And those of you who did not, just I appreciate you hanging out and following along and chatting muskies with me. I'll do this more often. Again, it's really uh, oh yes, yeah, 40 incher. Yeah, that's okay. I got you now. I got you now. Yes. Maybe I shouldn't have said that we smoked a 40. Maybe I should have said that 40 smoked the Medusa. So that's been the most consistent. Sorry, behind on the jokes. Yeah, I'm with you there, Dre. Thanks, Jake. I am gonna do the same. I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you have more questions or think of stuff later, just like shoot them to me on Instagram, shoot them to me on Facebook, whatever. And just like say who you were in the chat, so then that way I know who you are. And I will. I'll do my best to get back to those as quick as I can. But appreciate you all hanging out and tuning in. And there will be more lives, I promise. But for now, I think I'm gonna head to bed. Uh, appreciate y'all.